Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, along with my co-host, Mitch Glenn.
Yeah.
You've been here a couple times
how about that?
Past few times.
I came out from under my rock.
That's right. Well, part of the reason why is the growth in PICO Lures and the demand.
Yeah.
And so let's just jump into it. Why are you so busy? What's happening?
We're picking up new dealers, multiples per week, man. We're getting this stuff spread out. What we did was we were in one place out there for 5 years and we'd outgrown it 2 years in. So we moved the business and it's located on my property. It's no longer open to the public or whatever. Right. But we have picked up the distributorship for Vanguard Tackle in the South.
Right.
And that just plugs all those gaps. You don't have to go to 2 big box stores and get some terminal tackle and then buy a lure from us and all that. You can come in here now and you can get your everything except a rod and reel. You can go in here and get your fishing line, your hooks, your sinkers, your bobbers, little kits, different kinds of line, some stringers, whatever you need to make your fishing day a complete success. You can go out there and get it.
And you've added this onto PICO Lures.
That's right. That is new for we started putting it in the fall of 22, and we're full on now in 23.
Right.
And we have dealer pricing on this stuff where the dealers can put it in. Very competitive with anything a box store sells.
And you have these in some of the stores locally, but you also have been getting some calls for it from other places. Give us a few places.
Puerto Rico.
How about Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Illinois. That zone's growing leaps and bounds out there in Missouri.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
You live almost in Missouri. You should be able to know that.
Missouri. It's. The stuff's just moving really well. Yeah.
So that's the good part. So terminal tackle, all the mixture of line and stuff like that. So if they wanted to see it, they could check it out online, what you have.
You can look online. We've got all this posted at PICOLures.com. You can just we've got it categorized so that you can go down and you can pick out the crankbaits or crappie jigs or fishing line or these little box kits and dial packs and all that kind of stuff. We got a section for those. If you want bobbers, we got your basic red and white floaties, and we got some slip bobbers, and we got spring bobbers, and we got the great big weighted catfish bobbers, and
yeah, that's so one of your pro staffers is Lance Huey.
Yeah,
he's a big believer in that stuff, isn't he?
That's a fact, man. We've got gold crappie hooks now. So when you want to go catch a crappie, you put on a weight and a gold crappie hook and add a minnow to that, and you're in business.
He's making his spider rigs out of there.
Yep, he is.
And I think we actually have a couple videos that show online that show him making the rig. So if you want to see that more, you can check that out more. Yep. Let's just get into some fishing. Every once in a while you got to go fishing. If you got fishing gear.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. It's summer.
Yeah.
It's hot. And it's still going to be hot. Even when this airs in a couple of weeks, it's still going to be hot. So
yeah, it's just going to be normal hot instead of
normal hot.
Yeah.
We got some hot weather right now.
Ooh, doggies, yep.
Yeah, so, that's...
the bad part of it is that this is not breaking records. It's been it gets this hot before, but something about this year, man, it's like enough already.
I think as it starts out real hot. So let's start with catfishing. Catfishing in the summertime is always real popular, super popular. And so... catfishing. If they were to go out, you have some products that will help them out now, don't you?
Yeah, we've actually got a little box kit here made for the catfisherman. It's got your hooks and everything in it. You can buy bass casting weights or
dipsy divers,
the dipsy diving weights, and you can buy the bass casters. You can just buy 1 ounce sinkers, whatever size and kind of sinker you want. This has got the hooks in it that are got the spring wrapped around them for the punch bait and the dough bait and all that kind of stuff to help it stick.
Yeah.
We've got them great old bin. We've been selling a fool out of these things on the Ohio River, all up and down that thing.
Yeah.
Them big old long bobbers that's got the bigger lead weight on the bottom of the bobber, so it stands straight up.
Right.
Man, we're selling far out of those things.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That way, if you're out there at night fishing and you swing your light out there, if you think you're getting bit, you can watch that thing. It'll, you know.
All right. How about crappie fishermen? What are they buying? Is it the snaps and the line? Is that their big draw?
Yeah, it's this time of year. It's mostly a crankbait thing, which we've got that covered. But when you're crankbait fishing, there's more to it than just a crankbait. You need snaps and you need line, and you sometimes need weights if you're pushing crankbaits. So we've got that all covered now. We've got packages of snaps. We've got replacement split rings now for the crankbaits. We've got braid line. We've got mono line. And
whatever they want.
Yep, we keep all of that covered so that instead of bouncing around all over the place, you got a one-stop shop.
Right.
Close as I can make it.
How about bass fishing? So I know you like to bass fish.
I've been known to do it once or twice. Yeah.
You probably have some stuff that you would go out there and fish with in a heartbeat, would you not?
Oh, absolutely. We've got some of the best bass. I mean, I built bass heads for myself, the football heads, and this is a great time of year to take a big, heavy half-ounce football head,
right,
and rig a soft plastic on that, throw it out there. You need a spotter in the boat with you when you're throwing half or 3/4 ounce, so you can see where it lands. Yeah, just haul off, wing that thing out there on a place that's got a drop. Fish the edge of that drop, fish it off the drop, just put your reel handle down toward the water and just slow crank that thing, let it bounce off rocks.
Kind of like a crankbait, except you're using a jig.
It's a 40-foot deep crankbait's what it is.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to crank down.
Yeah, that's true.
Just wait.
Yeah, wait 7 seconds and it's on the bottom.
How many jig heads do you have? Because I know you have my favorite, the Brad Finesse jig head.
That's always a deal.
Football.
Yep, that's for that Brad head. You can use that multiple kinds of ways. I guess the best way is people take like a cream stick bait or something and they pinch it in half and make a Ned rig out of it.
Right.
Yeah, we got that. We got the big wide gap football head for that ledge fishing and stuff, and then we got a regular finesse type football head that's got the spring guard in it, the spring lock for keeping your bait on, and you can rig up and you can actually flip. Like worm, you can use that to flip worms, or you can finesse fish with it. I think we go down to 16th ounce in that thing, in a football head. So you can finesse fish with that. And we got a regular round ball finesse head.
Wow.
And we got swim bait hooks, belly weighted type swim bait hooks. Lord, what else we got?
Well, that kind of covers that round ball head. That's always been a popular one, but having the larger 3/0 hook in it that's the demand for the guys that are more tournament anglers. And actually your line of bass jig heads are actually like tournament ready.
Yes,
they're ready grade. So
well, I just got through explaining to a guy that he was wishing I would make him a way to fish a finesse. We call it the little
Ned head.
He wanted a finesse Ned head that was weedless. So I took one of the weedless ball heads out and showed him how to rig it on our screw lock, and then Texas rigged that little piece, and it actually stands up a little bit better probably, and it's weedless.
Right.
So I mean, that's your imagination's a limit on where you can go with this stuff. Yeah. That's how new trends get set. So,
and if you're bass fishing, you got crankbaits too.
Oh, absolutely.
Or crappie fishing.
Yeah, that's some of the crankbaits we've made, like peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
That was made for the bass guys.
Yep.
Turns out crappie love it too. But I mean, we kind of had the bass guys in mind when we did that bait. But hey, that's right. Whatever.
40 different colors, right?
40 with 2 more new ones coming this fall.
Really? Where are they?
You want we're on the air?
Well, you can give them the one.
Okay,
tell them what is. Yeah. I can tell you that it's called Paycheck.
Yeah, one's called Paycheck, man.
That alone, someone might buy just so they can walk around and say, "I got a paycheck today."
This thing is so dangerous on these Ozark lakes up here that you have to keep it in a shoebox out of sight, because if you drop it over the edge, something's going to grab it and run off with it.
I got you.
Yeah, okay.
And what's the other?
The other one is Doug Wynn is a big-time crappie guide in over
Kentucky.
on Kentucky Lake. And he's had a bait he's been using from Illinois all the way down to South Mississippi.
Right.
He's catching fish on that thing for the last few years, and we're going to put that in stock. Don't know what we're going to call that yet.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
It's being made, and I just haven't given it a name yet.
And you have 14 square bills too, right?
Yep, 14
and they're in the
bills.
same color patterns as
Same
the
color
deep divers.
Right.
Yep. So that's good.
Yep.
That takes us up to crappie jig heads, because crappie jig heads, sometimes you have different crappie jig heads and they come in different price points. And so tell us a little bit about that. What's the premium? What's your best crappie jig head?
The premium jig head is going to be the scope eye jig heads.
Okay.
These are what we worked on to develop. They've got a flat side on them. I put a flat eye on them instead of the round glass eye to make them show up better. You can see any jig head on live scope. These show up better,
Right.
And they've got an oversized hook in it. They're made to catch bigger fish.
Right.
People with live scope want to target bigger fish. Whereas a normal 1/8 ounce, jig head is probably going to have a size 4 hook in it.
Right.
These have got an 1/8 ounce has a 1.
Wow.
So I mean, it is made to set the hook on a fish, and we use some hooks. You and I both boat flip 3 and 4 pound bass with these little crappie jig heads without any issues whatsoever. Yep. So, I mean, there's landed some fairly decent stripers on them and everything else. Yeah. So the hook is never an issue. They're the I-Ching right now, and they're what everybody's after as hard as they can go.
They're after it because it's the jig head minnow combination that rig right now is so hot.
The northern tier of states, when walleye season cranked up this spring, that thing lit up there.
I believe that.
I mean, and that's the head that people were using. I mean, it's when you have distributors that want to know what your case pack is, and then they order by 2 or 3 or 4 case packs, once a month. I mean, they got walleye on the brain up there with that.
Yeah, walleye now, smallmouth. And other bass.
So these are about as premium a jig head, I guess, as I can build.
Right.
They're powder coated and baked.
Right.
They're on a black nickel sickle style hook. It's oversized hook. It's just a premium hook. Step down from there, we've got a wedge head, which was originally back in the day designed to be a walleye head way back when, because it's got a point. It's made to fish in current because it's got a pointed head on it like a wedge. And those are painted, and they've got glue on eyes on them. They run smaller hooks. They're a very good jig head.
Right.
And but they're a little less. They're not as expensive because they're not powder coated, and they got smaller hooks in them.
Right.
So and you step on down from that, and our next level is with just plain unpainted jig heads, and we've got minnow heads, and we've got ball heads, and we got tube heads, and we got weedless ball heads, and we got we either got your round Aberdeen bend or we got your sickle hook in each one of those.
And they run down to just regular price points on the lead heads, right?
Right. Yeah. Which in this day and time, I guess
hard saying. It's fluid. It's fluid. You never know right now, is it?
I know. I've got a new price catalog in there. I just got price increases yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that's the way the market is going.
It's just how
in
it
there.
is.
So
yeah,
when gas prices go up, everything else goes up too.
That's true.
So I mean, that's what you look at on the thing.
Yep.
But that takes us up to Tackle Time. Tackle Time is sponsored by PICO Lures. And so this time we're going to talk about monofilament line, and you have the braid over there.
Yeah, I've got the braid over here.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit about the mono. Now, I've been using it. It's good, high-quality mono.
It is.
Very affordable, and it comes in the amount of line that comes on the spool depends on the size of the weight of the line.
That's right.
So
I think those are about 300 yards, aren't they?
Yeah, somewhere around.
Oh, that's 670 yards.
Yeah.
But
yeah, those change according to the size
right.
of the thing, and then the braid is.
The thing about this mono is, I think that makes it a little better above. I mean, it may not have Kevin Van Dam's name on it, but this comes out of Korea. You know, and it's pretty deadgum decent fishing line.
All right.
And braid is about the same way. I mean, a braid line's a braid line,
right?
To a degree. I mean, but 150 yards of this for $12.95, I think.
So under 15 for sure.
Right. So now you're talking about something that's
and 150 yards too.
It's 150 yards. It's good slick line, casts good.
All right.
You know.
There you go.
Yep.
That's important. Well, that's the end of the show. And so like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.
All right.